Hi, we have Brigadier Sushil here with us. Please introduce yourself and the organization that you're representing today.
Hello, I'm Brigadier Sushil Bhasin from India. I'm a military-inspired leadership and team building coach. I help leaders and individuals at all levels to lead and build high-performing and mission-oriented teams.
That's exceptional. You're an honoree here at the CXO 2.0 conference and you're finally received recognition for 5+ decades of hard work. What does it feel like? What's the feeling like? 5 decades.
It feels so good. I mean, what adjective do I use to say it's so good? I'm here for the second time, and what makes me come here is not about my work. It's about my the validation of what I think and interacting with so many world leaders here, thought leaders, thinkers, entrepreneurs.
Similar minds
so
like yours. Yeah. You're an exceptional person, so of course. Tell us a little bit about how you're finding the networking and learning experience at CXO 2.0. How do you find the quality of people to be? Do you think it's easy to network with people here? Talk us through it a little bit.
Oh yes, it's so good. So networking, where I'm a born networker actually, and I love networking, and this is a very good place to do it. Why? Because everyone comes on the same platform and there are opportunities of networking at every step. And that is what makes this conference so vibrant.
Yeah. So, Mr. Sushil, you discussed that you have 5+ decades of experience, and you mentioned how for 38 years you were in military. So, what was the inspiration behind switching from military to corporate sectors and education sectors? Tell us about it.
So, actually the story is very long, and I've got a TEDx talk on that to say why I left the army. I had another 5 years to go, and if I did that, I would have most likely been a lieutenant general. But I was asked to be the chairman of an army school where I just fell in love with children and decided to switch gears and come to the corporate world. And actually I started with the children. So even today I say that my bread and butter comes from the corporate, but my jam still comes from schools and colleges.
That's truly where your heart is at, and it's so cute because you found the perfect blend.
And I want to add one thing there. That I wrote a book after about 14 years of dealing with lots of children, both school children and college students, that I wrote a book called Design Your Life, which is totally based on stories and my experience with children and no theories. So I used to say book of stories, no theories. And that got transferred or got converted into a podcast on Spotify called Zindagi Unplugged, which became very popular. And from 24 episodes, they made it to 48. And I really had fun interacting with children and creating content for that.
Yeah, creating something that actually became stuff for mass amount of audience to listen to. Can you tell us a little bit about, let's get personal a little bit. Share the core principle that you learned from military, which you now carried to your life today, your leadership philosophy today. Because military and children, they don't really collide. So tell us a little bit, what did military teach you? What core principle that you carried with you and you still carry with you in your leadership philosophy today?
Yes. So, it'll be difficult to say 4, I could say 20, but anyway, let's concentrate on 4.
Yeah.
Now that you said 4.
Yeah.
So, the first thing is being absolutely disciplined. I learned that right from the beginning until today. Discipline, and in discipline I say self-discipline is my core learning from the army. The second is time management. That the army taught you how to be very precise and be on time. The third thing I learned from the army was team building. Work in teams. Alone you are nobody. And the fourth thing I must say is trust. Trust is very, very important. And we trust each other, and the trust that we have in the army, the camaraderie that we build is unmatched.
That's exceptional. I'm sure the army taught you a lot. Tell us about how military-inspired leadership differs from the conventional leadership that you probably saw in CXO or you see generally around you. How does it differ?
So the difference is basically that what I learned in the battlefield, I like to transfer to the boardroom. which means all those military leadership qualities that I learned, which I feel military leadership is the mother of all leaderships. Because in no other leadership is a leader required to expose his teams to the toughest environment, climate, terrain. In corporate world, you don't take your people to 52 degrees in the deserts in Barmer or something, and you don't take them to Siachen at minus 30 degrees Celsius. So you need to take your men to the most high levels of discomfort and still work with them. And the second thing is, when you go into operations, you take people with you and they go with you into a barrage of bullets and they don't run away.
They don't run away.
So you are the greatest influencers because you can influence people to even give up their lives. What more do you need from a leader?
That's super true. You spoke so much about leadership. Tell us, what message would you give to leaders today in such uncertain, fast-paced, changing times? What message do you have to give to people who are born leaders or have leadership traits today?
So the first thing is that as a leader, you have two things that the army taught me. One is accomplishment of mission at all costs. No popularity, you're not there for votes, you're not there to please people. You have to be people-centric, you have to have empathy, but you have to have a streak of ruthlessness as well. So two things you have to do: accomplishment of mission at all costs and welfare of men. No unhappy people, no stressed out people, no burnt out people can perform well.
So the balance here is you have to be people-centric and empathetic, but you also need a streak of being ruthless as well. I think that is exceptional advice. Mr. Sushil, you always talk about building future-ready leaders. What does the term future-ready mean to you?
So it is like this, that today most leaders are just concentrating on today. They are firefighting, they are crisis management people. Now a leader should be able to build and empower such teams that he delegates, he empowers and keeps himself free to build more leaders and then look ahead. And I have a way of explaining that a leader should be operating in the area ahead of the predictability curve. So as a leader, I should not be thinking of today and tomorrow and the next 2-3 months. I should be looking at the next 10 years, 20 years, or at least 2-3 years, and making my people be prepared for tasks that we would be doing after a year or so.
So basically, preparing leaders need to have a vision for long term rather than just now, this is it, because then the leaders you're preparing technically depend on you. You need to make them independent so you can prepare more leaders.
Yeah.
Exceptional advice. That is some wonderful stuff. I'm sure there's people watching you out there who are very inspired by you because you've had such a long curve and a long life. Give them some words of advice.
So the first thing is, be aware that your current main challenge in life is speed of change, which is growing. The speed of change is increasing so rapidly, and your main challenge will you be able to cope up with the speed of change?
Yeah, that's exceptional advice. Mr. Sushil, please give them any kind of handle, Insta handle, it could be LinkedIn or anything, a platform where people can reach you for collaboration, for advice.
So I am everywhere except TikTok and Snapchat.
Amazing.
And I'm mainly on my own doing a lot of work on LinkedIn, whereas on Instagram, on X and other places, it is my team that works. But find me on LinkedIn every day.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Brigadier Sushil. Congratulations once again on winning the CXO award, and we wish you the very best of luck for many more awards to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.